Grandfather heard shouting for help. Camera caught employee doing the worst.
But before we start, please take a moment to give this video a like, subscribe and hit the bell so you'll never miss these great stories.
There's nothing nice about growing older and suddenly finding yourself unable to manage the simplest of tasks. Surrounding yourself with family and friends can be extremely important to keep your will to live alive in circumstances like this. Unfortunately, some elderly are forced to get help in nursing homes instead, where they may not feel comfortable being looked after by strangers. But nothing can be worse than when one such stranger is abusive. That's what happened to one elderly man in the story we're about to tell. 89-year-old Georges Karam, who suffers from Alzheimer's disease, moved into a long-term residence in Ottawa, Canada. When his condition got so bad, he required help with everything from eating to getting dressed. His family had carefully chosen a home that appeared to have a good reputation, but began to suspect something was wrong when Georges began to show bruises and wounds on his body. George's grandson, Daniel Nasrallah, inquired about the injuries, but the home staff always told him that he'd fallen out of bed. But Danielle remained skeptical and decided to install a hidden camera in George's room. When he later found the footage, he was enraged, and understandably so. One of the home's caretakers, 44-year-old Ji Zhao, was seen repeatedly and aggressively binding George's hands together. George, who is no longer able to talk, can be seen lifting his arms in an effort to protect himself. Daniel counted 11 blows before Ji gave up and let his grandfather be. Daniel immediately called the police and Ji was arrested the same evening. He was also fired. Georges went to the hospital for a thorough examination, but luckily he had not been seriously injured, writes the Mirror. The manager of Gary J. Armstrong's long-term residence has apologized for the incident and said that they do not tolerate any form of abuse. Despite the terrible experience Georges was put through, his family decided to allow him to remain in the home after G was fired. A move to a new environment would have been too stressful for him. Now George's family is working hard to make changes for the long-term residence system. The system is broken and changes are required, said Daniel. Don't hesitate to share this story with friends and family on Facebook to remind them to pay attention to the potential problems in the elderly care system. No one should be treated in this way, especially not our vulnerable elderly.